Outside the police station!
Oh,
What can you do? No, God, Jack, you're not as bad as me, man. No, that's great. I would really like you to do it. Yeah, sit down. Team when they got to the fucking money on it. Just call him a can. Yeah.
When I say I need a wee, you say yes.
Yes!
Don't talk to the cops with no mask on top. Wait, yeah. No, why is it You don't defend any of us!
Stop it! Fucking idiot. Stop it!
He's 100%. He's a Fed. He works for you. He's a Fed. Look, in it, he makes it.
Emergency alert. Our hospital wing for the police was completely empty, but A&E for protesters was full. That's where you like.
No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck the police! No justice! No peace! Fuck the police!
No justice!
No peace!
Fuck the police!
Getting a bit hot, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stopping the freak law. He's not very good at making peace. I don't think it's a journalist to be. Not going to be here on my phone. That's what we're doing. Yeah, what's on? What's on? They're literally not from you. Carrying up. I got about it. Up, go, cross! Up, go, cross! Up, go, cross! This is going to go round in a circle. Look, it's going up to me.
It's so rare. What's going on?
Oh,
And there's a man there.
Who's free? 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 Who's free?
You want to get it going, mate?
Yeah, they're gonna come.
That's how it's stopped. We leave it too now. It's just festive. Thumbs
The ambulances go to the hospital. Not away from. Oi, 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 oi.
Chris Fell gets delayed because of the PCSE.
Is that South America?
Far more productive man.
There you are.
You're wanted!
Di siamo
Exactly, man. Exactly.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Who's street? Who's street?
Yeah, I was just trying to like.
I mean, it's better than, very flat.
I don't know where Colin's
Fuck's ever.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Remind them who they stand with. We are the mothers, we are the fathers, we are the sons and daughters, we are the grandchildren.
Too shy.
Kill the
They should serve the people.
Indeed. Those streets! Streets! Streets!
I'm here. Carlito's just over there.
Kill the bill! 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 Kill the bill!
justice for peace! Fuck the police! No 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 justice for peace! Fuck the police!
I'm just asking.
Come here, don't be shy.
Let's show the police that we can be here protesting peacefully this time.
Sit the fuck down! Kill the bill! Sit the fuck down! Sit down! Sit down! Everyone sit down! Sit down! Everyone sit down!
I'm not asking you to sit here forever. I'm not asking you to sit here in any kind of inalienable protest you don't want to. I'm just asking you to show the police officers that are here that we can protest peacefully. Because the last few weeks, people seem to have failed to do that. I mean, you can tell me it's bullshit, but I was here all 3 times and I saw a lot of people not sitting down. I'm not calling anybody out individually, but obviously some people were not peaceful. Yeah, as well. Yeah, the police, as you fucking expect. The police also cause a problem. But do you see the media on our side? Because I don't. And the media as well. So you cannot be complicit. Could you sit down? That'd be fantastic.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
We are peaceful protesters. We are sat down. We have to acknowledge that police officers are human beings. We love you, and I know that your families love you too. We aren't here to hurt anyone, and we understand that COVID is a problem. We are wearing our masks, and I know that fucking what is it? Social distancing does always work. But when you take away freedoms like protesting, we have to stand up. We aren't here to cause issues. We aren't here to put... Okay, yeah, Sunday was fucking insane. I don't support burning down fucking police cars. I don't support using police horses or police dogs. But we're peaceful protesters. We love you. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill.
So since asking you all to sit down, I've had 2 different people come up to me and ask you all that when the police arrive we should all stand up, and I say to you that is not what we should do. Look in front of you, how many members of the media are here? If the police were to charge us, peaceful protesters, how would it look? Sit down and protest your right to protest. Officer, that was assault. Sorry, that was assault, mate.
Peaceful protest! And I know you are riot police. Please don't charge at us when we are sat down. Please don't hit us when we are sat down. We are vulnerable, and I know we are here, we're breaking COVID rules, but you have to respect us as human beings, and you can't just hit us and threaten us. You are police and you're here to protect and serve. When I see you, when you threaten, you say disperse or we will use force. I don't expect you to hurt me. I don't expect you to hurt anyone. We are your people. Oh.
spread among you. That was an ambulance. Look how many people stood up. An ambulance. Look how easy it is to lead people into a place they don't want to be. Give yourself, please, everybody sat on the floor, a round of applause, and well done for showing no fear. Solidarity with other people that are here to protect peacefully.
Put your mask on! Put me on!
About an idiot.
Sat down and been peaceful tonight. I'm really proud of you all. Like really proud of you all. Like, and also, can I just point out, a lot of people have come to me and said, maybe we shouldn't be sitting down. Can you see how you can see as far as you want in that direction?
Who pays your fucking bills? The bill?
Throwing any bullshit was not caused by us sitting down. As one of the ladies who spoke on College Green earlier on said, I'd just like to reiterate, it only takes 2.5% to 5% of the populace to change the way that a government behaves. It only takes a few of us to stand up to things that we think are fascist, to things that we think are just totally wrong and against our moral instinct, against the way that we want to behave. I understand that many of you might feel scared. I understand that many of you might feel angry. I understand that many of you may be extremely upset about the way that your friends and family members are treated on the weekend, but I beg you, sit down. Sit down. Show solidarity with the people around you. Peaceful protest. That's all we were here for on Sunday.
Kill the bill! Kill the bill! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
People who are willing to be arrested. The people who are willing to be taken to jail for standing up for what they believe in. Because, believe it or not, look how many people are around you. Bristol would not be able to house this many people in the cells and their jails. And it's the same countrywide. They wouldn't be able to arrest us all. It's physically not possible. Stand up for what you believe in peacefully. Thank you, all of you. You're fucking amazing.
Hello, again. This is my message, just to be honest.
Them not letting fireworks off. They shouldn't be sat there. What is the point in doing that? There's more to life than sat there in a fucking street blocking all up.
Who are you here with?
On my own.
You need to go to okay?
Just got here and I'm just like,
How did you get down?
I think that would be a threat to you. And you know you are peaceful people. And you have to stay to that. Stay to who you are. If they ask you to disperse, you disperse. Because in a peaceful protest, you cannot go against the police because you know the media will turn against you. It always has. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I will talk. Okay, fine.
Fantastic. Same to the guys at the front there by the Bridewell. If you're not the press, would you mind sitting down? Show solidarity with your fellow working man, because the reality is, I doubt anybody here is a billionaire. And if you are, do you mind fucking off?
They have to do that fucking thing. I know. Then I went
anybody that thought that I cut the lady off before because she was a woman. I've just been told by this lady that apparently some of you think I cut her off because she was a woman. I don't. I don't, and if you think I did, I'm so sorry. Apparently I was being sexist. I apologise. I wasn't. If any of you ladies would like to come and speak, please feel free. Remember me.
I'd just like to say this person's a fucking cracker. She doesn't represent our movement. And she shouldn't be used in footage. She doesn't fucking care about the bill. She probably doesn't even know about the bill. She's just here in order to push a few people about. I don't even think she properly realises people she's pushing are journalists, because she went, why are they filming my friends? I'm just saying this to the media, please don't use that footage. She's not part of us.
Yeah. As a community and a people, we need to stand in unity against this nefarious bill that our government is attempting to push through. It gravely endangers our freedom of expression, accountability for the increasingly questionable actions of the government and the corporations it supports, and attempts to wipe out an entire way of life by criminalising the already marginalised traveller community. Our civil liberties have been hard won and they will be defended hard. Kill the bill.
guys. I'm 58 and I'm a grandmother and I'm born and bred in Bristol and I am so very pleased to see all you young people out here today. I'm so proud to be a Bristolian and see all you lot here. This is an insidious bill. Insidious. What, to stop people from talking about things and congregating and sharing ideas? This is shit. Get back, I say, to all the good stuff that we did in the 80s and the 70s. Well, it changed our world. Yeah. So peaceful, lovely peaceful protesters like you and I can feel really proud to be here. We pay for this. We pay for this. Let them represent us, not the power to be. When people get leery and jump up and down on vans like I seen last Sunday, but what us here are signifying is that we are going to stand up and be counted. I am so proud of you young people. Has let you down. We've let you down. My generation have let you down. We've allowed all this shit to happen. To stand up and say no. And all that. I know you've got to stay safe, but let's just... Exactly, my darling. Exactly, they are. More important, our human rights, our right to protest, our rights to say that fucking putting bloody Colston's statue in the bleeding drink a bigger penalty than girls that get raped. What is going on? All I say to you as a senior citizen,
Still fit though.
Enjoy yourselves, have solidarity within us and each other. I'll be with you guys. Thank you.
Hello everyone. All I want to say, as one white man against this bill, is that it is important that everybody keeps coming out.
injured, and we don't want anyone to get crushed because people are holding on to them. You can, and I appreciate, you know, everyone can protest in their own way, but you know, just keep everyone's safety in mind is all I'm saying.
That smacks of cooperation with the authorities.
A little bit rude, no? I'd be quite happy to talk to you about your views. Just because somebody calls you authoritarian does not give you the right to swear at them in public. That's quite abusive. If the two of you would like to discuss your issues away from me, that's fine. Please don't start swearing at each other. That's ridiculous.
I actually knew Liam snoring. I was like, oh my god.
I was lying on your floor.
And you were like, no. And you were like, I'm just so disappointed. I was like, obviously not. No, but I think it was just that after having like literally with you guys. You were like, I can't sleep.
I think my
So
protesting for?
I understand that you're
Well, Tim, I'll be so scared I'll agree with all of the
bullshit. And it's the tools of the capitalistic society, which is
Everybody sat on the floor.
when I checked out all of them, apart from the Sunday ones, I was asleep, but most of them, everyone was just sat down and peaceful, and it was the police using violence, and the media spin on it to discourage other people from doing it and having a voice, was violent protesters, which isn't a fucking case, is it? I think you can all agree you've probably been at all of them. It's not true, is it? No violence at all from the protesters, just the fucking police as usual. Because they don't like that they're in the fucking wrong. And again, I must say, the pillars of capitalism are held up by sexism, homophobia, class divide, and the other one I can't remember right now, but 1 second. They use that to divide us amongst ourselves. Classism, sexism, homophobia, used to divide us all. Divide us amongst ourselves so we fight each other rather than fighting the actual tyranny that dominates our lives. Lady, come say something.
So, earlier this afternoon, I had a somewhat insightful conversation with a police officer. He used a very interesting analogy about retaliation. He asked me, well, if someone chucked apples at you and chucked milk at you, what would you do? I said, I would retaliate somewhat. He was like, well, exactly. And then that got me thinking, you're the police. You shouldn't retaliate the same way I do, or as all of you do. We might be easily pissed off, but the police aren't meant to retaliate as easy as we are. He then tried to use the bad apple, another analogy. He said, well, you know the police officer with the Sarah case? I said, of course I do, we all fucking do. He's like, yes, that's a bad apple. I thought, you didn't mention the public, you didn't mention that there might be a few bad apples in the public. You have generalized the public as violent, aggressive, argumentative, when that is not the case. If you're going to retaliate the public all day, every day, they are going to have something to fucking say, and the police shouldn't retaliate the same way that I would if someone chucked fucking milk at me. Kill the fucking bill.
They project your voice without you shouting.
I agree with what you just said, because do you know what? If there is 1% of the general populace that is a bad egg, that is going to incite violence, that's going to do something, they're accountable because of the police. But if there is a 1% of the police that's also the bad egg, there is no accountability in the police. It gets brushed under, the government fucking lets them get away with it, and it's fucked up. They just get moved to a different sector, it gets completely denied by the newspapers, and I'm fucking sick of the police getting away with everything. Where's the police for the police? Where's the police for the police? If they're going to look after us, who's looking after us when the police are hurting us? It's not fair. It's not fair.
Hi all, I want to say something as a nurse that works in Bristol, who is absolutely appalled by the police's behaviour. If I, a nurse, abuse someone, or one of my colleagues abuse someone, I would expect them to be dismissed. And more than dismissed, they're pinned to be stripped. I don't want them to look after anyone, because the people we look after are vulnerable. I don't want them to be in charge of anyone's well-being. The police are put in charge of people's well-being, but when they act badly, what happens to them? Nothing. It gets swept under the rug, just like that amazing woman just said. I don't know where she's gone. And this is the other lady, but they're all amazing. My point is that when people act badly, there should be consequences, and the police seem to be the only people who consequences don't apply to. And why? And you know what? I know that
saying nothing. I'm like, oh, such get my charger, my phone, my headset, charger, and my headset.
Vera! Evie! Onesie! Phoebe! Phoebe!
I mean, if that's what's happening, I'll make it happen. But I need something to hold on this again. Right. I feel like I'm going off on a mission. I'll give it a go. Your name is Sam. Yeah, cool. I'll be over there. I'll come back. What? Me out first. Okay. I was just gonna go and make things happen. Do you mind just staying with me?
Right, that's a good question. Yeah. Wait. Exactly. They should reverse.
And he's like, oh, everyone get off the right side. No. Is there no ample space?
Yeah, you know what we're giving them? So much space.
We can be moved out the way.
doesn't look like he's moving, I give up. Everyone wants to sit back down, let's just sit back down. We tried. We gave him the chance. He doesn't look like he's moving, fucking sit back down.
Well, it's your spine in hand. Maybe you should put yourself. Oh, okay. Oh, you're beautiful, babe. You're absolutely beautiful. Whatever toss to some reggae. Shake that ass. Sounds okay.
why you're here tonight, and then what you can find right.
It's like 97 to... We live in this life.
Let's go.
BBC! BBC! West! West!
Somewhere out of the uniform. Some squad or some rookie or some intel or something. I find myself getting very grumpy very quickly. Thank you for patience. I know this is rare and watching it years and years, every couple of months. But then we still look back on the good ones. I still think one of the best ones I think I've ever worked out was like there were 6 of us and we were all trying to find out how to sleep at time. 7 of us. And we were led cross waves and we did all this and the bags on the floor and was there. And we was trying to do boiling the bag in there, heating the bag and flattening things. And then he worked out one shift and then he pulled the stealing from the that was for me that night.
We used the water power that was in the canal with the returning tide to push the vessel where we were pulling it. And the combination of the two, as we hoped, at the end of the day did the trick. It's all about physics, and most physical laws are not that difficult, you could say. But the trick is to make them work for you and not against you, and that's what we did. The difficulty is you're really in the middle of nowhere, stuck with a vessel and no equipment nearby. So that's the big challenge, really. We had a plan B involving water injection under the vessel. Because with the digger, you can scrap a little bit of soil around the vessel, but not under the vessel. The same holds for the cutter dredger they used. So again, you dig some soil away beside the vessel, but not under. We realized that if the trick that we did today wouldn't work, we had to remove soil from under the vessel, but not beneath the vessel.
One stranded ship, one giant problem for global trade. It could take weeks to free a cargo vessel wedged across the Suez Canal. One of the world's busiest shipping routes is out of action. So what will be the impact if the blockage isn't cleared soon? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Mohammed Jamjoom. Global shipping has been thrown into chaos because of a mishap on a major waterway. The Ever Given, one of the world's largest container ships, was blown sideways and became jammed on the Suez Canal in Egypt. That's created a tailback of other cargo vessels carrying billions of dollars worth of goods in both directions between Asia and Europe. Egypt says it hopes to be able to dislodge the ship soon and reopen the canal. But experts fear it could be weeks before that's possible. Other ships may now have to reroute which would mean a much longer journey to their destination. Charles Stratford reports.
400 metres long and weighing 200,000 tonnes, stuck in what's often described as the most important shipping lane in the world, a maritime accident with global implications. The Ever Given container ship became wedged across the Suez Canal on Tuesday when high winds blew her off course. About 12% of global trade passes through the 193-kilometre-long canal, which connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean, providing the shortest link between Asia and Europe. The vessel, carrying around 20,000 containers, is registered in Panama and operated by Taiwanese transport company Evergreen Marine. It was sailing from China to the port city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands when it got stuck. The Japanese owner has apologized but says the situation is extremely difficult.
At present, the traffic along the Suez Canal has been disrupted due to the incident, and local authorities are working on resolving the issue using tugboats, but there is no estimated time for it to be resolved.
This image, posted on a ship tracking website, shows the backlog of at least 150 vessels stuck in the northern entrance of the canal at Port Said, in the middle in an area called the Bitter Lakes, and at the southern entrance at Suez. The vast majority of oil from the Gulf is transported to Europe along the canal. Oil prices rose sharply on Thursday. Industry experts are warning of a flood of insurance claims covering the vast amount of cargo being held up. Egyptian officials say at least 8 tugboats are trying to dislodge the vessel, which experts say could take days, if not weeks. Containers may have to be offloaded in order to lessen the weight. Ships now face the prospect of having to travel thousands of additional kilometres around the southern tip of Africa, a huge cost and potentially delaying delivery of goods by weeks.
The ships that are stuck throughout the canal and at the north end are in a precarious position, and they may not be able just to turn around and take another course, as long as and expensive as it is to go from the Mediterranean around Africa and vice versa.
The Suez Canal Authority says around 20,000 ships passed through the canal last year, earning Egypt billions of dollars in toll fee revenue. The Ever Given is one of the largest container ships in the world, but for every hour and every day it remains stuck and stationary, there are concerns about the financial fallout and impact on global trade. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera.
Let's take a look at why the Suez shutdown is creating more than a few ripples in the business world. About 30% of global container ship traffic sails through the waterway. An assessment by Lloyd's List shows $9.6 billion worth of daily marine traffic is being blocked. The canal is a big earner for Egypt's economy, contributing more than $5.5 billion last year. All right, let's bring in our guests from Oxford. Guy Platten, Secretary General of the International Chamber of Shipping. Here in Doha, Mohammed Al-Masri, an Egypt analyst and Associate Professor of Media and Cultural Studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. And from Brussels, James Moran, former European Union Ambassador to Egypt, Jordan, and Yemen. Thank you all so much for joining us. Guy, let me start with you today. This incident really shows just how much global supply chains rely on shipping, doesn't it? And also, let me ask you, just how massive are the implications for global trade right now?
Well, I think, your figures you've just shown, but 12% of total cargo volumes pass through the Suez Canal each year. That's over $1 trillion a year. And as your report said, 10 billion is held up each day. And so it's been 3 days so far, so you can do the maths on that. And also, they've got the hundreds of ships now, which are now lying at anchor, waiting to pass through the canal. And ship owners and managers are having to now make that difficult judgment. Do they now switch routes and take the long route round, which adds another 3,500 nautical miles to the journey, and between 5 and 12 days to the journey times, with the knock-on delays that will result in that. So it's actually huge, and I think it shows you how strategic the Suez Canal is in terms of a waterway, and how dependent we are on it to have the sort of the best, most efficient supply chains in goods coming from Asia to Europe.
Mohammed, just how important strategically and economically is the Suez Canal for Egypt?
It's critically important. I mean, you just can't overstate that point. I mean, it's important for strategic reasons, for symbolic reasons. Egypt has fought multiple wars over control over the Suez Canal. And so Egyptians view it sort of as a source of national pride, a source of or a symbol, I should say, of national independence. But then economically, Egypt brings in more than $5 billion in annual revenues as a result of the Suez Canal. So it's a main source of foreign currency for the country. And, it's one of the reasons why Sisi, one of the very first things he did in 2014 when he took over as president was announce this great expansion of the Suez Canal that he said would greatly, he said it would double or more than double the revenues from the Suez Canal. And that just underscores the extent to which this is really just critically important for Egypt's economy.
James, the Ever Given is massive. It's almost as big as the Empire State Building. Should a ship that huge actually be passing through the Suez Canal?
Well, since they made the improvements to the canal a few years ago, they've deepened the draft in the waterway, and part of the reason for doing that was so that they could accommodate these very large ships. But of course, the challenges of navigating through the canal, and if you've been on it, I have many times, are enormous. And you have to have a very precise series of techniques and so forth to get the ships through, especially when they're that size. Something here has gone wrong, whether it was the weather, whether there was a technical problem on the ship, difficulty perhaps from the piloting, the navigation, which is provided by the Suez Canal Authority, we don't know. But it is a challenge, but normally it should work as planned.
Guy, who's ultimately going to be held responsible for all this?
Well, clearly at the heart of it will be the ship owner, but in fact, all the people involved in the voyage. And I think, as James just said, we don't know yet what actually went wrong. So we need to establish those facts before you can start apportioning blame. But there's clearly many, many claims are going to go in over this from all the different cargo interests, from all the ships which are delayed. So there's some huge litigation coming down the line on this one. And of course, the knock-on effects to trade as well.
Mohammed, as you mentioned in your previous answer, the Egyptian government ordered the Suez Canal to be expanded in 2015. But judging just by what's happened, was enough done in that expansion? I mean, if enough had been done, would an accident like this, would an incident like this have taken place?
Well, I'm not a technical expert on canals, canal digging, canal expansions, so I can't speak to that. But what I can say is that Sisi presented this as an economic revival project. And the revenues I have the numbers here in front of me, the revenues in 2013, 2014, and 2015 were just over $5 billion. In 2014, for example, they were $5.5 billion. Not only have revenues not doubled, they've stagnated. In 2020, the revenues were $5.6 billion. So there hasn't been really any increase in revenues, certainly nothing like the $13.5 billion that Sisi promised would be coming in by 2023. So that adds to, I think, the tension here. I think it adds to the nature of the political crisis. And I think it's interesting that, at least as far as I'm aware, walking over here to do this interview, Sisi hadn't spoken on this. And I think that's very striking.
James, we've spoken about this already a little bit in this program, but the Suez Canal, it provides much needed foreign cash to the Egyptian economy, which has been struggling for quite a while now. How bad and how embarrassing is this incident for Egypt? And what's the importance of trade right now for their economy?
Well, how embarrassing, we don't know, because we go back to this point that no one really knows how this occurred, and we won't know for quite some time. But one thing related to that I think is very important. At some point, once the issue is resolved in the coming days or weeks, there has to be a transparent international investigation into what happened. Now, that will be difficult. As Mohammed has said, Egyptians regard the Suez Canal with a very special eye. It is a symbol of the nation. It's a symbol of independence, as he said, for Egypt. So sovereignty is a big issue when it comes to these things. But in order to restore confidence in the canal operations, there will, I think, have to be an internationally led investigation, including all of the relevant organizations, going down the track. So embarrassing, perhaps. We don't yet know.
Guy, I saw you nodding along to some of what James was saying there. Did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is we do a full and thorough investigation to establish the facts and exactly what happened. And only then can we learn the lessons and maybe see if there was negligence or failure at some point. But I think that's the most important point. We don't know exactly what happened. We've had lots of speculation at this point. What we do know is the ship is stuck fast aground, and really the focus at the moment must be on refloating her and getting that waterway open again.
Mohammed, what are the broader implications for the region?
Well, I think it goes beyond the region. There are global implications. In your lead up, you talked about how much money is being potentially lost on a daily basis from the canal. And I do want to just underscore the point that was made about the investigation. I think this is going to be critically important. It saddens me as an Egyptian. I'm an Egyptian American, but saddens me as an Egyptian that I have to acknowledge that this investigation does have to be international. I quite frankly, if I'm going to be perfectly honest about it, I don't trust an Egyptian-led investigation because this is a government that has proven itself to be corrupt and complicit in crimes against the Egyptian people and others. So it's very important that this is an international, sort of collaborative investigation. I think it's also worth underscoring that this is happening tragically on a day when there is news of a horrible passenger train crash in Egypt that killed dozens of people. And we have to highlight that the Egyptian government is authoritarian, and authoritarianism breeds corruption and inefficiency and incompetence. And unfortunately, Egypt has become a place of disasters. It is a place, unfortunately, where buildings collapse, where trains crash, and we're seeing what's happening in the Suez Canal over these past few days.
James, it looked to me like you were reacting to some of what Mohammed was saying, and maybe you wanted to jump in. Please go ahead.
Well, it wasn't so much what Mohammed was saying about the situation internally, but you had asked about the region. There are people that say that this sort of thing might actually have an upside. What has been going on for the last couple of years, of course, is that in Europe anyway, people have become extremely concerned about being too dependent on the Far East and China for their supply chains. Now, this incident shows just how fragile those supply chains can be. The upside for the region could be, although I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be that the so-called nearshoring, in other words, bringing the supply chains closer to home, either back into Europe or perhaps in the Middle East and North Africa, might get a boost from this incident. Although I don't want to be too optimistic about that, but I think it might be one of the aspects to be looking at in the longer term. And it's already something which is beginning to happen. Dependency on China in particular has reached a stage in Europe and elsewhere. The Americans too have a problem where people, I think, are thinking very seriously about rebalancing. And this incident may just be one amongst other factors that accelerates that process.
Guy, this situation is really only further complicating the supply chain problems that have been caused by COVID-19. How exactly has the pandemic impacted shipping? How dire did the situation get?
I think the first thing is that shipping throughout the pandemic has continued to deliver the fuel, the food, the medical supplies, everything which has kept the world going. And I think we owe a massive debt of gratitude to the seafarers out there who've been manning those ships. And it's impacted the industry in so many different ways, from the shutdown of China in January, February of 2020, which had massive repercussions on the sort of the factory shutting and the goods getting out. And then we had the fact we couldn't get our crews off the ship because countries shut down their borders and wouldn't allow travel. So we've had shipping has proven to be extremely resilient, but it has shown, incidents like this really do show how fragile that supply chain actually is moving forward. And I think that's a lesson that we can take away from this.
Mohammed, this pandemic and all of its related restrictions have really limited the availability of dock workers and truck drivers. It's caused delays in handling cargo all over the world. I mean, how has that impacted the global economy?
I think that obviously the pandemic has affected you know, the global trade, workers at the individual level, at organizational levels, and then at more macro levels at the state level. You know, the nation, the level of the nation. But what's interesting here is that Egypt hasn't been as affected in some of those ways because it hasn't shut down in some of the ways that other countries have, whether that's for good or bad. You know, in terms of the virus and how the government has chosen to handle the outbreaks that have occurred in Egypt. You know, that's for other folks to sort of decide. But Egypt, from a purely on the ground business perspective, has not been affected as much as other places have been.
James, is it clear yet what exactly has to happen in order to lighten the load of the ship? If containers are going to have to be removed, how difficult that might be? And also, is it clear if Egypt actually has the kind of equipment that's needed in order to accomplish this?
Well, I'm not an expert on that, but I think we know that if they have to start removing the containers from the ship, it's going to take quite some time, and some special equipment will have to be shipped in. I think they need a 200-foot high crane to start taking those containers off, and it's obviously going to be a very slow process. On whether Egypt has the equipment, don't forget that the main work going on at the moment when it comes to the dredging and digging is being carried out by the Dutch salvage company, which has been there before in the Suez Canal, knows the area very well, and they know what they're about. They're extremely professional, in fact, when it comes to looking at the likely scenarios down the track, I think they're the first ones one should listen to. They're the ones, by the way, who said it might take weeks, not 48 to 72 hours.
Mohammed, I saw you nodding just now. Did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, as he just said, the Suez Canal Authority, somebody came out and said this is going to be handled within 48 to 72 hours, and other international experts are saying that's perhaps too optimistic. I'm also seeing reports that there are countries that are sending help, or at least offering to send help. Just within the last hour, I saw a report that Turkey is willing to send one of its massive ships that it says it can potentially help alleviate the problem. So, I mean, we're just going to have to watch it over the coming hours and potentially days.
Guy, are more and more countries going to need to look to alternative shipping routes now? I mean, for example, Russia, there's some speculation right now that perhaps they would use this to develop routes in the Northern Sea, Arctic routes. What do you think? Are more countries going to be trying to do this?
Well, they're doing that anyway, regardless of this. You know, the Suez Canal still represents a massive shortcut for trade between Asia and Europe. So, you know, I have no doubt that when this blockage is removed, ships will still continue to use the canal because it is just the most cost-effective way of shifting the goods. But there's no doubt that routes are being looked at all around the world now as perhaps global warming, some of the effects of global warming is opening up some of those more northern routes. But it's what shipping is very good at is adapting to the circumstances. And that's what will happen here now as well. If this goes on for days and weeks, shipping will adapt and will just reconfigure its supply routes, although they will take longer and there will be delays as a result of it.
James, it's a significant sign of all the turmoil this has caused that the ship's Japanese owner has offered a written apology. From your perspective, how extraordinary is that?
Well, I think there may be a cultural element here. Japan, you know, has its way of dealing with these things. And I think he's probably trying to cover himself down the line. If indeed it turns out that this is down to human error related to or technical error related to the ship. I don't know that we can read more into it than that. But as we've said earlier, there are many factors here, and they really do need to be carefully looked at in order that confidence can be restored in the Suez Canal as a reliable conduit. But as Guy says, in any event, it's going to remain a major part of the infrastructure for world shipping and world trade in the weeks and months to come. But Egypt needs to think very carefully at the top level, or everyone there involved, very carefully about how best to manage this, and not to take a sort of hubristic nationalist line. It's very important that Egypt thinks very, very carefully and reflects on how best to conduct the investigation to come.
Mohammed, picking up on what James just said about how important it is for Egypt to really conduct this thorough investigation, and picking up also on your previous answer in which you mentioned that there were Egyptian officials that said that this all might be solved within 48 to 72 hours. I mean, where do you believe that shipping companies stand right now? Are they moving ahead with contingency plans? Do they think it's actually going to be weeks? Are some of them prone to believe that, you know, it might actually open up within the next 48 to 72 hours?
You know, I don't know. I'd be guessing. Maybe some of them are going to watch Inside Story to see what we say. I mean, you know, I think that people are probably just waiting on pins and needles. I mean, these are folks that have, you know, millions of dollars on the line, and you have these varying analyses out there. It might take a 2 or 3 days, and it might take, you know, a few weeks. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, nobody really knows. I mean, we hope that we'll have more clarity, more answers in the next, you know, 24 hours or so. But